Hello, dear didgeridoo friends. If you hear some noises down there somewhere, it's most likely a mouse. I guess it's curious what's happening here. I was here before sometimes. Yeah, this video is an additional video to the video I filmed about this very old and very nice yidaki. And in this previous video I told you the details and the story of this instrument. I also said in the previous video it's most likely crafted in the 50s or 60s. I wanted to be on the safe side of numbers. I also could not have believed if I would say it's from the 30s. But it was brought to my attention in the last days. Yes, it is from the 30s. So I kind of knew it, but I forgot. But there's a story linked to the 30s and this instrument in my brain. Yeah, I just want to add this little story to the previous video. The story I had in mind, my teacher told me this story years and years ago when I was at his place for the first time, and he introduced this instrument to me. I told you this story, and he said something that my brain kind of remembered. It's a World War II story. So the Japanese fighter airplanes and bombers had some business down there in Australia. That much I remember, and bombing Melbourne, stuff like that. And this was somehow linked to the time period this instrument was crafted. So it's at least the end of the 30s, maybe crafted even earlier. It was brought to my attention in the last days, the 30s. Yeah, so that's what I also remembered, but I wasn't sure. I just forgot. Yeah, so this video is just about the fact that this is now around 90 years old, and for yidaki this is something. So my respect even grew larger now. I mean, I'm really impressed. And one additional story about this instrument. You see, it looks to me almost like a modern mandapul. It definitely plays and sounds to me very fresh, very modern. And this is amazing. I mean, today you can find a lot of mandapuls and yidakis with the same shape, and they have kind of the old school corny, gritty sound. And this one here from the 30s has a very fresh, modern, to me kind of funky sound, which fits wonderfully to the more modern ways the Aborigines play a yidaki. It's not a mandapul really, but it kind of feels like a more modern instrument other than from the 30s. Just one more thing. When I was thinking, should I make this video here? I mean, is it worth it? I made a big video about this instrument before. I said it all, but in these times I'm referring to computers, iPhones, iPads, didgeridoos made of local wood here in Europe, or leather, or glass, or carbon fiber. In these times, when you take off your hat, when you see an instrument 20 years old, this is considered an antique thing. It's a vintage and worth a lot. Now you have something around 90 years old, older than most people have as a lifetime. Marvelous, marvelous. If you believe in coincidences, I do not. I had found, I was not looking for it, I just stumbled over it, some photos of an very old ceremony, corroboree, where one Aborigine plays a yidaki. I showed you in a minute these photos, and the headline is, it's like from the 50s. So it looks to me very much the same as this instrument. It surely is not the same instrument, but what I want to point out is the shape, the length, the appearance of it is pretty much the same. So it's not that hard to believe this was crafted 20 years before them photos. I was thinking, in fact, yidakis that old are always very slim, not very impressive, a little inner diameter of the bell. Yeah, you could carry around them easily, play them in ceremonies, also standing up like the one Aborigine you see in some seconds. That was my perception, and I am kind of amazed that old instruments, I mean that's old, huh? 90 years. Huh. Old instruments like that have the more or less same shape and form, and like today's mandapools and modern yidakis of that nature. So let's look at photos, very interesting. Yeah, when I saw these photos, I was impressed, very impressed. Something that old, fitting into the modern times we live in. This is the last point I want to talk about in this video. This yidaki never appeared in my perception as an old school sound. It certainly has an old school sound, but it feels that fresh, that kind of modern. That is amazing. It plays itself. It's really comfortable, and it has this adorable sound. Let's see it one more time, and I thank you for watching and listening. Wonderful. Yeah, thank you for watching and listening. Bye.